Good evening, y'all. Welcome to another edition of the S.O.B Sports Report Talking S. I'm Nick.
I'm Manny.
As always, make sure to smash that like button. Definitely give us a subscribe. Share with all your friends. We appreciate all feedback, both positive and negative. Let's jump right into it. All right, y'all. It's 9 p.m. Arizona time. It's September 8th, 2020. And as of right now, the Milwaukee Bucks have lost the series 4-1 to the Miami Heat and Jimmy Buckets. Jimmy Buckets actually played pretty damn well this series right now. 22.5 points, 5 boards a game, 4 dishes a game, and 2 steals a game as well. You got to give him a lot of respect for that, a lot of credit as well. And then you're looking at the Clippers as well right now. Pandemic P. He has became playoff P. How about it?
Finally, he had 31 points the last game. And finally being the co-star he's supposed to be next to Kawhi Leonard. But it's still a close series. They're only up 2-1 with Game 4 tomorrow. Or tonight. Tomorrow.
Same thing by the time this drops. As well, Oklahoma City Thunder, they announced that Billy Donovan will not be returning as their coach next year. So that's another thing to keep an eye out.
Speaking of coaches.
Thinking Mark Jackson?
No, I was thinking more the Steve Nash news.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm just saying Mark Jackson would be a great fit in Oklahoma City.
I unfortunately think he got blackballed from the Golden State Warriors for some odd reason, but that's what sources say to the analyst. But Steve Nash is now the new head coach of the Brooklyn Nets.
Still takes some getting used to it. Is all good.
But he is handpicked by Kyrie Irving and most importantly Kevin Durant. So he might do an excellent job because he is a coach that Kyrie will actually listen to and Kevin Durant listens to.
Hey, being Arizona boys, we absolutely love us some Steve Nash, so we're looking forward to seeing him do well.
All right, ladies and gents, we're just going to jump right into it. We're going to talk a little bit baseball right now. So, White Sox Lucas Giolito threw the first no-hitter of the season, 19th in White Sox history.
Only 19 in their whole history, huh?
I know, right?
How about it? Speaking about the Chicago teams, how are we looking in the NL Central?
Well, the Cubs lead their division right now, behind the strong pitching of Yu Darvish, who is a Cy Young contender at this point in time.
Yeah, he's finally paying off that fat contract. All right, y'all. So big news in the MMA community. Brock Lesnar, he's officially a free agent. Possibility comes out of retirement? Of course there's a possibility. Does it happen? I don't think so. But let's play devil's advocate and act like he does come out of retirement. Manny, what do you think about that?
I would pay hella money to see him fight John Jones.
Oh, man, John Jones would beat the shit out of Brock Lesnar.
To be
it wouldn't
fair,
even be funny.
To be fair, it's even ground.
Yeah.
You see
You're talking about the USADA testing pool, aren't you?
I sure am.
For sure. But that's exactly the problem is with the USADA testing pool, John Jones consistently still fought at a high level. Brock Lesnar has less than 10 career fights in his whole pro MMA career. He has a great wrestling background, but so does John Jones. And John Jones, in my opinion, would use his teep kick and solid kicks up the middle. He uses rangy jab, and he'd slice him the hell up with those elbows. Would you see a vintage John Jones performance?
Well,
if that
those are some
happened?
diddly elbows every time I see John Jones.
Another performance and another returning we're talking about. Nick Diaz, possibly. Now, here are a few matches I would love to see Nick Diaz in, all right? So hear me out on this one. A fight that I think could happen and I think should happen. Nick Diaz versus Damian Maia. We're talking a high-paced cardio jiu-jitsu match. That would be absolutely incredible. Damian Maia only has 1 or 2 fights left on his contract. Why not send him out on the high note on that one? A fight I want to see happen, just a fantasy fight for me. Nick Diaz versus Tony Ferguson at 170. Give Tony Ferguson a break from cutting weight at 155 so much after he possibly fights Dustin Poirier, and then you have 2 cardio kings going absolutely at it. I would love to see Tony Ferguson try to slice my man up, and I'd also love to see Nick Diaz talk some shit and slap the boy up as well. And then as the final match I'd love to make, Dan Hardy. Dan Hardy versus Nick Diaz. You have Dan Hardy coming out talking about someone's going to get beat up when he comes out of retirement. Well, he technically never retired, but he still hasn't fought since 2011. If Dan Hardy came back, why not make the Dan Hardy-Nick Diaz fight in January? You have Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz 2 coming up, which, in my opinion, that fight makes absolutely no sense to me. Jorge Masvidal pieced Nate Diaz up. You had him multiple 10-8 rounds. All the Nate Diaz and Diaz fan armies are going to keep coming up and saying, Nate Diaz was on his way back. That is a possibility. You could never count anyone out in the MMA community. But when it comes to that fight right there, I definitely saw Jorge coasting, and I didn't see that changing in any way. Why not have, for the Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz 2 card, as the co-main event, Nick Diaz versus Dan Hardy? Sign me up. Make it happen, baby.
All right, Nick, let's get to the boys on skates. So my pick, the Golden Knights, yay, are on their way to the Stanley Cup right now. They beat the Canucks in the series 4-3. They did lose the first game against the Dallas Stars, but as of tonight, they were up 0-3 in the game right now against the Dallas Stars. So, series is going to be tied.
Yeah, just everyone remember from episode 1, the only team he picked was the Knights. He didn't give himself any single leeway, which I respect, but it was also a very casual pick. It's all good.
I am an all-in type of guy, Nick. You should know this by now.
That is very fair. I've been to the casino with him. I've been gambling with him. It works out.
No, it doesn't.
For me. With that being said, looking on the Eastern Conference, if you've been with us since episode 1, you then understand that the New York Islanders winter series between the Capitals and the New York Islanders, I actually chose to go for the Eastern Conference to the Stanley Cup. As of right now, the Islanders are down 0-1 against the Lightnings, but we've seen the Islanders already come back twice from 0-1 deficits in this playoff. So let's go Islanders and see how they finish off. Hopefully, we're actually going to see is going to be the Knights versus the Islanders in the Stanley Cup, and then we're going to have a nice little fun bet for y'all. Alrighty, y'all. So if you've been following us, as you know, we break down a different division in the NFL every single week. This week it's the NFC and the AFC South. So looking at it right now for the NFC South, I have a clear-cut winner of the division, and it's looking like the New Orleans Saints. Drew Brees, the greatest quarterback of all time. Michael Thomas. You heard me?
No.
Yes.
No.
Multiple 5,000-yard seasons, greatest completion percentage of all time, multiple times. I'm not having this argument with anyone. And on top of that, who did he beat in the Super Bowl?
Peyton Manning.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
But Peyton Manning is the biggest choker of all time. He is, my God.
Okay,
that man has cost me hundreds of dollars in the playoffs. You do not bring up Peyton Manning. Fuck Peyton Manning.
Fuck you.
You know, I was happy to watch that grown man cry when he lost to the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah, that's right. Hashtag Peyton Manning.
Alrighty, so with that being said,
I apologize.
Back on topic with that as well. The NFC South. So, like I said, Michael Thomas, you finally have a great number 2 receiver in Emmanuel Sanders, of course. Drew Brees always finds a way to find Jared Cook and Dan Arnold down the field, of course. And then looking at their defense, they have Cam Jordan, who is a top-tier pass rusher. They have Marcus Williams, who's not a premier safety in this league, but a really solid safety in this league.
I'd say top 15 at least.
And then you have Marshawn Lattimore, who's also an awesome cornerback.
Top 5.
I disagree there. Demario Davis has become a true leader at the middle linebacker position as well. The sleeper team in that division. Let's go to the Carolina Panthers. Teddy Bridgewater, which is my biggest free agency signing of this season. They added Robbie Anderson, giving him a speed threat on the outside in terms of receiver. Shaq Thompson, they locked down on a multiple-year extension. We're going to have to see how they do with the new coach and Matt Rule, but I have a lot of faith in Teddy Bridgewater and the Carolina Panthers as well.
Or is he going to be a bridge quarterback? We'll find out.
I don't think he will be a bridge quarterback.
All right, back to the AFC South. My favorites for that division is going to be the Titans to repeat. They might have overpaid for a run stopper in Jadeveon Clowney, who is a run stopper, not a pass rusher. I want to make this very, very clear. 3 sucks does not equal 20 mil, but hey, different story. Jacksonville's just looking to tank. Deshaun Watson, I trust Deshaun Watson. I just don't trust Bill O'Brien. Does not know how to make great decisions. Because of D-Hop. D-Hop negotiated his own deal today and signed an extension with Arizona Cardinals, right?
Yeah. Highest non-paid QB in the league.
Deserved.
Well, also, if I may add that as well, Jadeveon Clowney going over with Mike Vrabel, he had his best years with Mike Vrabel under that defense.
Very true.
Mike Vrabel knows how to use him. He doesn't use him just as a pure edge rusher. He stacks him all across the line from the 1 technique all the way to the 5 technique, and he'll even stand him out and drop him into coverage as well. You got to remember, Jadeveon Clowney was used in coverage, so the sack numbers may not always total out to that. And when you're rushing from the weak side a lot of the times too, you're not always going to get the pass rush numbers that you need and are looking to. Looking into well as the NFC South. How can we not talk about the Buccaneers? You have Bruce Arians, who is a quarterback guru, finally has Tom Brady.
With the GOAT. The GOAT.
Highly disagree there. The strongest check-down artist there ever was.
GOAT.
And a great team player, undeniably. But look at the cast around him. Mike Goodwin. Chris Goodwin, Mike Evans, Rob Gronkowski. You have Cameron Brate still, of course. And then you're looking at that, you have Leonard Fournette added to the running back core. And then they have Shaq Barrett, who's one of the best pass rushers as well in the league. Their defense still needs some help, but Levante David as well helps in the middle linebacker position. Are they going to be the Philadelphia Eagles from 2011?
Oh, the dream team.
The dream team that bust. There is a possibility of that, and I'm really curious, so be on the lookout for that, y'all. We finally made it here as football fans, y'all. Fantasy football season, the time we have all been waiting for. Personally, I'm in 3 leagues this year. I commissioned one myself. What are you in, Manny?
I'm about 4 right now.
And the league that I commissioned as well, we play each other week 1. I'm going to blow this motherfucker out the water.
This dumbass let me draft Ezekiel Elliott and Dalvin Cook.
It makes 0 sense him saying, I let him draft. I draft 7th. He drafted 8th. I didn't let him draft anyone.
You sure did. You skipped over Ezekiel Elliott.
With that being said, I drafted Mike Thomas in a PPR league. That's easy money.
What about second round? You were ahead of me in the second round, too.
No, I wasn't. It's a snake draft.
It was a horrible snake draft.
Anyways, with that being said, Tyrod Taylor, he's a great wire pickup. We were talking about waiver wire pickups. I'm sorry. His bombacity just absolutely blew me out the water right there. Tyrod Taylor, he is a great waiver wire pickup for you to look up right now. He's playing against Cincinnati Bengals, who average half a touchdown to quarterbacks over the last 8 games of the fantasy season last year. And looking at it as well, Tyrod Taylor, he's going to be accurate. He's going to make smart decisions, not going to turn over the ball for you. He's going to get you plenty of rushing yards. And he may also get you a few rushing touchdowns if you made him this week. And they're going to be leaning heavily on him against a young defense like the Cincinnati Bengals defense is.
So I'm going to go off. I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to go out Tyrod Taylor, security blanket, Hunter Henry. He's going to be my stardom tight end for the exact reason. He's going to be a security blanket for Tyrod Taylor because Tyrod Taylor is that dumping down quarterback, and he's a big old target. Only question is he able to stay on the field with all those knee injuries of his?
Yeah, that's a good question to ask, definitely. My starting quarterback this year, sticking in the AFC West, Derek Carr, looking in the revamped offense that he's in now, especially with all the new receivers and having a security blanket and Josh Jacobs behind him. And Darren Waller himself is blown up this year. So I have strong faith that Derek Carr will have a really good game week 1. And that's being said, of course I could have brought up, you could have brought up Patrick Mahomes who's playing Houston.
Obviously.
Could have brought up Lamar Jackson who's playing Cleveland.
Deshaun
you also
Watson.
could have brought Deshaun Watson who's playing Kansas City.
Hell,
but
even Dak Prescott.
I'm going to choose Derek Carr for this one. And my sit-em quarterback, I love him to death, being an Arizona boy, Kyler Murray. Reason I'm sitting him is because you have a formidable defense against the 49ers, not only with a great secondary, but a hell of a defensive line. Like, their defensive line is so crazy, it's unreal and unbelievable. So Kyler Murray, looking at how it works, I want to see how he does well with his new receiving core. Give him a week or 2 before I want to put him in my starting lineup.
Well, speaking of receiving core, my starting receiver is going to be Robert Woods. He's playing a horrible Dallas Cowboys secondary. They can't cover a nosebleed. They can't stop a nosebleed at this point.
I'm a personal fan of Cheeto Awuzie, though.
I love that man.
He's awesome.
He's the only corner I got. But anyways, Robert Woods should tear up the Cowboys secondary. But
who's your sit-em?
My sit-em is going to be Devontae Parker because he's
easy choice.
Easy choice. Anyone playing Stephon Gilmore, I will not pick you. My God, it's Stephon Gilmore, Defensive Player of the Year.
And Devontae Parker, may as well call him Carver because he carved Stephon Gilmore up last year really bad. It's a new year this year, and I think Stephon Gilmore is going to smell blood on this one. I would also sit Devontae Parker on this one because Stephon Gilmore could definitely be a blanket and cover you like a mug. With that being said as well, starters and sit-ems. Joe Mixon's my starter. That's not even a question. Reason Joe Mixon's my starter. Joe Burrow's going to need a dependable safety blanket, someone not only to dump down to, but to hand the ball off to. Him signing that extension, his migraines just magically went away. Joe Mixon's in for a big year this year. And then you have Melvin Gordon as well. He's my sit-em. He's my sit-em running back.
Ooh.
Calm down, Manny. He's my sit-em running back. The reason that he's my sit-em running back, he's coming to an offense that already has Phillip Lindsay. You drafted an awesome receiver, and you have a pretty good receiving core, and Drew Lock that's coming into his own as an awesome passer running back.
Drew Brees.
Huh?
He's going to be the next Drew Bledsoe.
Anyways, y'all, so that's how we're looking with the fantasy season. Some stardom, some sit-ems for you, and a waiver wire pickup. If you have anyone that you guys suggest as a stardom sit-em, let us know in the comments.
Fuck. You know what we forgot?
Lionel Messi. Motherfucker.
He's coming back for another season.
Alrighty, you lovely folks. Thank you guys so much for joining us for another evening edition of the S.O.B Sports Report Talking S. As always, that's Manny.
This is Nicholas.
We really appreciate you guys joining us. Make sure to smash that like button, smash the dislike button if you want to. Leave us all feedback, both positive and negative. Definitely send it to your friends. We appreciate you guys. Much love and good night. You didn't mention Shane Bieber, dog. Bieber's handsome cousin. Look at this lineup, y'all. I'm gonna shit on Manny.
I am not Odell Beckham Jr. We've been over this, Nick.
I'm gonna kill this man. Hashtag swamp ass. That's a good hashtag for us. I didn't think about that.
We're doing hashtag swamp ass if he does the underwear thing again.